My name's Veronica. We've been getting a lot of questions regarding the interviewing process and how it works. Keep in mind that interviews for each specialty will be slightly different. Today we're going to do a mock interview so you can get a better idea of what to expect. Let's get started. Good morning, Mike. It's nice to meet you. So I see that you've been rotating here for the last month. What do you think of the area?
It's a really amazing place. This isn't my first time visiting, and I love the town. We're kind of in the center of a lot of great resources and opportunities, and I think it would be a great place to work, learn, and grow.
Okay. What did you think about your last month rotating here?
So this was definitely one of the better rotations that I've worked. The residents I've worked with are all very kind and knowledgeable. They're great teachers and mentors. And I feel like rotations like this will definitely help to prepare me to be a great Navy physician.
Very nice. Okay, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
So before medical school, I was a big artist. Somewhere along the line, I began volunteering in EMS, and I fell in love. It's the main factor that turned my attention towards medicine. I love working with people in the healthcare field and figuring out what's ailing them and how to make it better. But I wanted something a bit more.
Okay, what kind of art do you do?
I like to keep an open mind, so I started with drawing, and then I moved on to things like sculpture and more recently painting.
Very nice. Do you think your love of art would negatively impact the time commitment required during residency?
Honestly, I don't think so. For me, art is a form of expression. So if anything, I think it would help me to cope with the stress that comes with working such crazy hours.
Okay. Why did you pick medicine, and why didn't you do art instead?
I realized that art is more of a pastime for me, and I didn't think that going to art school would really make me a better person in the ways that I would like. When I began volunteering with EMS, I realized that not only was I learning things that would help me to be a better person, but that I could really help people and make the world around me a better place. I wanted to have a bigger impact in my patients' lives, so I started shadowing physicians from different specialties, and that's where I decided I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay, and why did you choose the Navy?
A good part of my reason for joining the military is the sense of responsibility to give back to the country that's allowed my family the opportunity to survive and flourish. When looking into which service might be the best for me, I realized that the Navy seemed to offer the widest breadth of opportunities. And the thought of doing something like a GMO, UMO, or flight surgery tour really appealed to me.
Okay, have you had any personal difficulties through medical school?
The toughest thing for me was juggling my EMS leadership responsibilities with my studies. My goal of becoming a leader in my community all started coming together somewhere around the time that med school and board season started getting serious. I felt the stress every day with EMS shifts and administrative work on top of my medical studies. It was and still is incredibly difficult for me.
And how long have you been volunteering in EMS?
It's been about 6 years or so.
That's a pretty long time. What did you stay in EMS? Why did you stay in EMS despite the stress that it has put in your life?
When I first joined, I saw certain opportunities for improvement in my department. I wanted to enact positive change in the pre-hospital care of the people in my town. I didn't want to give up on something I'd been working towards for so long, so many years. It's been an incredible learning experience, and challenges make us.
Okay. So have you done any research?
No, I haven't. Honestly, I was never a big research person. I always preferred being hands-on and out in the field. I have, however, experienced a few interesting medical cases that got me thinking at a recent rotation of mine. So after I take my Comlex Level 2 in August, I'm going to be working on a new research project.
Okay. What is a quality that you find important in a coworker?
I think it's incredibly important to be honest and open with yourself and others. The best way of creating a good work environment is to be real with your abilities. And if someone tells you that you have something to improve on, you take what you can learn from that and figure out the best way to proceed instead of getting upset or offended that somebody called out one of your imperfections.
Okay. What are you looking for in an internship?
I want to work in a place where I'm exposed to a lot of opportunities for learning and improvement. I'm working to become a great Navy physician, so it's important that I can see a wide range of conditions faced by our war fighters and work with physicians who are education focused, who will correct me when I'm wrong and help me to be the best doctor that I can be.
Great. Thank you so much for meeting with us.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, so here's a little bit of an idea on what kind of questions you can expect to be asked during an interview. Here are a few questions we've been asked quite a bit. How did you go about scheduling your interview?
So we all received an email with the information for the clerkship coordinators and points of contact for each rotation. As soon as I had this information, I emailed the points of contact for each program that I was interested in, and I requested that I interview with them at some point towards the end of my rotation at that site. It's also an option to do a phone interview, but I would prefer to interview in person to show them that I really care about that program.
Okay, how far in advance did you schedule your interview?
I scheduled my interviews as soon as I knew who to contact. The coordinators have very busy schedules managing a lot of students, and there are certain dates during each rotation block that are set aside for interviews. So if you're serious about a program, you should be contacting them as soon as possible to ensure that you have a spot.
And how did you know what to wear for your interview?
All of the specifics for interview day were emailed to me by the person who was coordinating the process a few weeks in advance. For the most part, if you've already gone to ODS and you're currently on an ADT rotation, you'll be told to wear summer whites or khakis to the interview. If you haven't gone to ODS, you'll probably be told to wear business attire. But listen to whatever the coordinators tell you when you speak with them.
Okay. What did you do to prepare for your interview?
As soon as I had an interview date set, I made myself a note in my personal calendar. I then spoke with the rotation coordinators, the people who were setting up my rotation, to make sure that they knew I was interviewing on that day so that it wouldn't interfere with my work schedule. Then the day before the interview, I made sure my uniform was perfect. I got a fresh haircut, I shaved. Then I looked over my resume and my personal statement so that my mind was fresh on anything in my history that I might be asked about during the interview. Then I Googled some possible interview questions and thought about what my answers could be, just to keep my mind active. I researched the location, the hospital, and the residency program that I was applying for. Then I came up with my own questions for the interviewers. I think it's always important to have your own questions at the end, not only to learn more about the program that you're applying to, but also to show that you're interested. And then before bed, I set multiple alarms early enough so that I would have time to do everything that I needed and then get to my interview site on time.
Okay. Do you have any advice for your peers?
Be conscious of deadlines and don't send your paperwork in late. Go over all your paperwork before you send it in and have a trustworthy friend or teacher proofread your work so that it's concise and professional. I would also print hard copies in case my interviewers need them for day of. Then arrive early for your interview. I think it would be a good idea to prepare to be there at least a half hour early. And then during the interview, just remember to be genuine and know what you're talking about. Anything that's on your CV, you should be able to explain and provide examples of. Be prepared to talk about what you learned from each of your experiences and how that'll make you a better person and a better doctor in whichever field you may be aiming for. Don't stretch the truth, both because it's wrong and because if you get caught, it's a very bad look. I would also say it's important just to be genuine and actually speak what you think, and not only say the things that you think the interviewers want to hear.
Great. Thank you so much for answering our questions, and thanks for your time. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Hopefully this helped alleviate some of your stress and answered any questions you may have had. Thank you.